full circle coming back to the Pro Tour in Japan that I skipped 7 years ago, this time making it to Gold Pro. Welcome in, much love. Trav here did not accomplish my goal of being the best drafter. That went to Martin Yuza. Thanks to him and all the competitors I faced this year, and thank to you for rooting me on. So many people tweeted at me, messaged me on Facebook. Really insane. Going for a walk here out to dinner with our team. Donald Smith, this is the face of someone who just got Platinum Pro. I'm not sure what happened in his last round, but he may have got the World's invite as well. And so there's going to be some street noise. Hope that's okay with you. But I want to get this video up for you immediately. We're going to go over some strategy, the deck that we played. I'm not going to go into recommendations too much because I want to save that for our mastermind group and so on. And share with you some big takeaways and big lessons. And the first one is, just go for it. You know, it's just so much fun to try. You know, a lot of people will not even try. It's so much fun to try. And it inspires people to even try. So just go for it. If there's something you want to do, maybe it happens, maybe it doesn't, but you'll be better for trying. And if you fail, you can get back up and try again. So let's go into some big picture stuff. I finished 9-7, which is okay. Finished the season as a Gold Pro on 40 Pro points. I had a 7-3 constructed record, which was kind of functionally 8-2. I had an egregious punt that bumped it down to 7-3, and I had 2-4 draft record. So I came in really preparing for draft, wanting to do well in draft, but I had a little bit of variance evening out. And when I say variance, I don't mean like, oh, I got unlucky. You know, I actually played worse, and we'll get into that. But there's also variance in how you play, variance in how your judgment. You know, you have 70% win percentage. Sometimes you'll run 90. Sometimes you'll run 30. So I knew I was very lucky to be in this position, and some calls I made did not work out. And, you know, I'm at a point where it's pretty easy to identify the mistakes I make. I know that's not even that easy for some of you. It's hard because a lot of the times that the root problem is 1, 2, 3, 4 stages behind. So for me, I'm trying to figure out why I made the mistakes. And I played sloppy, especially in the mornings. I played my best at the end, which is kind of unusual for me. In the past, I've normally played my best in the mornings and worst in the evenings. And I think one of the problems for me is that my sleep wasn't bad, but it was not optimal. I woke up earlier than normal for the tournament, and didn't have my own room, and it complicated things a little bit. So, you know, for all my preaching about being in the best physical mindset, I wasn't, and it was sloppy and cost me, especially going into draft. So this was my first draft. I played against Sam Black, who was just playing for top 8 on stream. I don't know if he got there. And the deck's pretty great. You know, it's a green-white overrun deck, 3 appeal to 30, overcome. And I lost to 2 sweeper decks. Sam Black had literal Wrath of God. But I still could have won if I had sideboarded out of my Wall of the Forgotten Pharaohs for a Pouncing Cheetah. So that's on me. And then the next game was maybe winnable, you know. My play was below average. My draws were maybe average to maybe a little below average. My opponents were above average. I played against great opponents who played very well. My second draft deck, I made the wrong third pick, and it just snowballed me in the wrong direction. I started with the Rare Angel, then an Oketra's Avenger. Then I took a Spellweaver Eternal over the red, white, gold, 3-mana 3/3, which is definitely wrong. You know, again, I know it's wrong. I'm not sure why I made that mistake. It's not an aggro thing because both are aggro strategies, but I really like blue, and I skewed towards it, and skewed towards a 2-drop over a 3-drop. But the way it worked out, blue was open, but there were no unquenchables or unsummons, so I had really weak spell base. If I had been red, I would have gotten Hazoret's Undying, 8th pick, 2 Fervent Paincasters, Resolute, Trial of the Active, whatever. And I ended up losing to those cards from another player, and that was under my control. So 2-4, my worst draft record ever. It's okay, I learn, I'll bounce back. and try to dig in deeper for more things that I can learn later. But still believe aggro is the way to go. And this format, you can't really force too much. You can win with kind of anything. You can win with control as well. You have to know all the archetypes, and the games themselves are very difficult. You need to know what line to take. So overall, I'm happy because I've spent so much time on draft, and it's still so difficult for me. And that's a mark of a good pursuit. Is something that's very hard to master. So I'll come back next year and try to draft master. And it was a lot of fun because day one, I won two, and then I dropped my first two rounds of standard. The fourth round was to the punt. I sacked the wrong desert, putting my opponent to two, and then drew a land, and then I didn't have the desert in play. And then I had to win 3-0 to even draft the next day. And then I make it and get paired against the other Tim Wu, for another feature match. Play for a top. He was in the draft master running as well. He ended up losing it because he forgot about an appeal to authority in Martin Mueller's graveyard. So, even great players make punts at the highest stage, at the most level. It's not really a nerve issue. It's just Magic is so hard. There's so many decisions that some mistakes are going to be made. Okay, let's talk about the red deck a little bit. I haven't looked at the top 8 lists, but I know there's a lot of mono red up there, and the good mono red are playing 4 Hazoret. So what I like about mono red, the reason we played it, for one, like Shaheen Sarani and Sam Black played it. When those guys are on mono red, it's fucking ridiculous, right? But what's one of the things that's great about this is the land base. It makes it really hard to get mana flooded, and you can reach across for the final 3, 5, 8 points, and add that to any red deck in history, and that deck is way better. The creature base is insane with lots of haste, and what we found is that 4 Hazarets is the way to go, and a lot of teams miss that, and that will be the new stock going forward. It's so ridiculous, indestructible. You don't mind multiples because sometimes they can kill it, or you can just pitch the second to the first, and you want to keep your curve low. So that was the key to our record. And I went 7-3 again. 8-2. Things would have permutated and been way different, but of the matches that I played, that was winnable. Sideboard, we had a nice control package. We didn't really use it for the mirror, though. We wanted to stay low on Hazoret. The only way to kill Hazoret is also Soulscar Mage plus Chandra's defeat. So we went heavily on that, and it worked pretty well. And the deck's fucking sick, I beat a lot of black-red control. I didn't face Authority of the Consuls, but we're prepared for it. I said how to beat a mono-red net decker, but we found is it's not that easy because you sideboard for the game 1, and then game 2, there's all these mythic planeswalkers in their deck, and the deck plays way different, can morph into control and so on. So Authority versus Chandra is not very good, right? A few things we would do different. I would play a 24th land in the board over a Weaver of Lightning. Weaver would have been great versus Blue-White Monument, but that kind of just died off, not good enough. And I think if you wanted to get an edge in the mirror, you might want to look at, I'll just tell you, I'm not going to give exact details, I don't have a list, but splashing to be able to deal with Hazoret. Hazoret is, that'll cost you a lot in other matchups, like just being mana screwed more often, and having slow starts, it'll cost you in game 1s, but if you can consistently deal with Hazoret, I think it'll improve. That's a way to win the mirror a lot. So that's how it went. Great experience. 7-3 is actually my best constructed record ever. I've gone 6-4 a bunch and 9-7 back when it was 16 rounds. But 7-3 was sick. Best constructed deck I've ever had, thanks to my team, Lingering Souls. Everyone associated with it. Again, shout out to Donald for locking up Platinum, who is in the mastermind, and then a bunch of my friends did really well, and I just had so much fun even though I didn't perform how I wanted. It's just such a great experience to compete with the best, and I look forward to next year. Got a bunch of Grand Prix on my schedule, got a bunch of Pro Tours on my schedule, and I'm going to be playing Magic and coaching Magic full-time and making content full-time, so it's going to be great. And it's just been I've gotten so much out of coaching as well. It just helped me level up so much, and seeing our guys. I mean, Donald came into the mastermind as a silver as well, and seeing him just blast off is crazy, and watching Ben Friedman gold up and various other guys. qualify for their first pro tours. It's just been a blessing all around. Incredible year to think that even 1 year ago I was not qualified, hadn't even played in a tournament in a year and a half. Go play in one tournament and just blast off myself. So I'm gonna make the most of this situation. Will not waste it. May or may not perform when it comes down to it, but I will know that I left no stone unturned and that I did try my hardest, and that's what matters. So once again, thanks to everyone for all the support. Those who want to join me on the inside, mastermind, link to that below. Everybody else, appreciate you all for urging me on. Everyone I met in person and commented on anything. It's been an awesome, awesome ride. And now we're off to dinner, hang out, be social, be merry in Kyoto, and it's going to be good. So thank you all, and take care. Much love. Peace.